Quentin Tarantino. Man, seems like he's curmudgeon, man, hating everybody. What's going on with him, man? Hating on Paul Dano, says, hates Owen Wilson there, says Owen Wilson sucks. Man. And not only did he say Paul Dano was just bad, it's one thing to say, oh, like, I don't really like his acting that much, but he said that he's the weakest fucking actor in SAG. And he says that he basically almost ruined a perfect movie, There Will Be Blood. Said he kind of ruined that movie there.
See, this is how you know Quentin Tarantino is in his like, old man yelling at cloud phase, because like I don't know how you can with a straight face say that Paul Dano like is a bad actor in any way, let alone like almost ruins There Will Be Blood. Like absolute lunacy on Tarantino's part.
Yeah, because he says that he's like, well, I was gonna rank There Will Be Blood, because I think a lot of this came from his conversation. He was ranking he did his own list of the 20 best films of the 21st century, which we're gonna look at the list there and go over that. He says like, well, he's got There Will Be Blood at number 5, but he's like, well, I could have put it maybe the first or second movie if it wasn't for that damn Paul Dano and him just dragging the movie down. And everybody went like, well, damn, Paul Dano's fucking cool, bro. And then you had all these people come out and support of Paul Dano. They said it's almost like a reverse cancellation. Like, I don't know what you would call that, but it's almost like the opposite of that, where you had Ben Stiller come out and say nice things about Paul Dano. You had Toni Collette, who starred with him in Little Miss Sunshine, say, she gave him his praises. So yeah, everybody was like, man, Paul Dano's awesome. And people start bringing up all these roles he was in that he loved. Do you have a particular Paul Dano role that you love him in, or?
Well, I do love him in There Will Be Blood, but I also loved him in Prisoners. He's the kid that Hugh Jackman and Terrence Howard kidnapped because they believe he's kidnapped their daughters, but he's great in that. And, like you said, Little Miss Sunshine, I loved him as the Riddler and the Batman. He's just tons of great film roles he's done.
The Fablemans, I thought he was good in that. There's the father in that. That was really good there. So yeah, it was kind of just a weird thing there. And then also he talked about Owen Wilson. And then also kind of a similar thing, we talked about Midnight in Paris. He's like, I love Midnight in Paris, but Owen Wilson fucking sucks. So I wish I could praise the movie more. He says Midnight in Paris is one of his favorite movies, but he says he can't stand Owen Wilson there, in it there. So that was also another thing. And again, this came from his discussion of the 21st, his list there, top 20 films of the 21st century there, with that as well. So that also came about. And then you also had Matthew Lillard. Now, he didn't say anything about Matthew Lillard, but Matthew Lillard came out and said like Quentin Tarantino has told him that he sucks as well, in a conversation. And he said this at I think it was a press screening there. I think it was for Five Nights at Freddy's, because he is in Five Nights at Freddy's 2,
right
there. And this was him talking about it.
Listen. The point is that it hurts your feelings. It fucking sucks. And you wouldn't say that to Tom Cruise. He wouldn't say that to somebody who's a top line actor in Hollywood. I'm very popular in this room. I am not very popular in Hollywood. Two totally different microcosms, right? And so, it's humbling and it hurts. So, thank you.
So you got that. Yeah, but Matthew Lillard, I mean, he is kind of a fan favorite guy. People do love him in Scream and things like that. And people also love him. He's Scooby-Doo. I mean, he was Freddy there. There he was in that. And he's been Freddy for a long time, not only in the live action, but continued on to do voice work for Freddy. There for quite a while. There.
Yeah, he effectively replaced Casey Kasem when he retired from the role of Shaggy in all the Scooby-Doo media. But yeah, like it just
I said Freddy. I meant Shaggy. I'm sorry, I said Freddy. I meant Shaggy.
No worries. I guess when I read about this Tarantino story, I just thought like. The thing I kept coming back to is just how unprofessional this is of Tarantino to do. Like, even if, like, look, I'm not going to tell the guy what actors to like, but like, you're in the same business. Like, just don't say anything at all. Like, just keep. You don't have to have an opinion about every single thing you ever think.
Yeah. I remember there was something that happened when Ray Liotta, he was on Andy Cohen's show, and then I mean he got asked a question and he said, who do you think is the most overrated actor of maybe your generation? And he brought up Clint Eastwood there. And somebody asked him a question about it and he answered the question. He wasn't really disrespectful about it. And necessarily saying someone's overrated doesn't mean they're bad. It just means, it doesn't really necessarily mean that. And he just answered honestly, but it's just kind of the unprovokedness of, I think, coming out and saying that about certain people, I think is kind of the thing there. And then this list, so this was his list there of top 20 films of the 21st century there. And you let me know what you think of this list. So he's got Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down. He's got Toy Story 3. He's got Lost in Translation. He's got Dunkirk, There Will Be Blood, Zodiac, Unstoppable, Mad Max Fury Road, Shaun of the Dead, Midnight in Paris, Battle Royale, Big Bad Wolves, Jackass the movie, School of Rock, The Passion of the Christ, The Devil's Rejects, Chocolat there, and then Moneyball, Cabin Fever, and West Side Story.
Cabin Fever? What?
Yeah, Cabin Fever, man. He's got that, man.
I mean, I do love a lot of those movies. I mean, shout out to him for including Moneyball, which is just a dynamite movie. But Cabin Fever, what?
Yeah. So I mean, Eli Roth is his buddy. That's his guy. So maybe there's a little like same thing with Rob Zombie. That's like his friend too, I think. So he's got also a Rob Zombie movie listed here, The Devil's Rejects. Okay. I'm surprised he didn't put one of his movies on the list. He seems like the type of guy to be like, well, let me put one of my movies on here.
That'd be a little too egotistical even for Quentin Tarantino to do. But I guess he has a little restraint in that regard.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, Paul Dano hasn't responded to anything Quentin Tarantino has said. So he's just kind of, I guess, just doesn't care or hasn't heard about it. I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't focused on it there. But yeah, so I got that. And I think Owen Wilson, I haven't heard Owen Wilson say anything about him in Midnight in Paris, or about what Quentin Tarantino had to say about him. I don't know. Would you be a little upset that because it seemed like more people were coming out in support of Paul Dano, how great of an actor he was, instead of not really Owen Wilson so much? People kind of, I think, over. I didn't really hear a whole lot about people going like, that man, Owen Wilson's a fantastic actor. He's amazing. I didn't really hear so much of that, too much, but. Yeah, but I do like him in Midnight. I love Midnight in Paris. I think Midnight in Paris it's also one of my favorite movies. I like Midnight.
Yeah, Midnight in Paris is great. I don't really know if I'd call Owen Wilson like a fantastic actor, but he's great in that movie. And yeah, Midnight in Paris is wonderful. But yeah, like it just I don't know if I was the target of Quentin Tarantino's ire. I don't really know if I'd respond to it just because it's like kind of seems beneath these people to respond to some degree. But yeah, just Tarantino, like, just don't shoot straight bullets next time. It's not necessary.
Yeah. I love this movie there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Owen Wilson is a guy that operates off of cool guy vibes, a lot of times. It's like, okay, he's a great presence to have in a movie there. But I mean, he's been in things I've liked, and I've liked him in things like Midnight in Paris, for example, which has been good there. Which was another great Owen Wilson performance you can name there.
Wedding Crashers, I think he was really funny in.
Royal Tenenbaums, he's pretty good in. I like him in Royal. Yeah, a lot of the Wes Anderson. Yeah, a lot of the Wes Anderson stuff he's pretty good in. And I know that that movie with Roy Tenenbaum, his character goes through like a whole arc, suicidal and everything. I thought that was pretty good.
You know what? I take it back. That he actually is really good in Royal Tenenbaums as a dramatic comedic performance.
Yeah. But yeah, he's done some great. Usually with Wes Anderson, I think Wes Anderson pretty much pulls the best out of him when he's in stuff there. But I mean, his comedic stuff is. You mentioned Wedding Crashers, that's pretty good too. Wedding Crashers, he pulls the best out of him there. I don't know, Zoolander.
He is pretty funny in Zoolander. I'm not going to front on that.
Yeah. How do you like him as Lightning McQueen? You like him as that? That's a good one.
I've never seen the Cars movies, but I know little boys love Lightning McQueen, so he's obviously doing something right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I've never really been too into the Cars movies myself either, so I can't really comment on the performance, how well he does as the voice of the car Lightning McQueen there. Um, so looking at this list also, it's like, okay, besides Cabin Fever, anything else like Chocolate? I haven't heard of that one before. I don't think I've heard
Oh,
of that movie.
well,
Um,
that's a French movie. It got nominated for a couple Academy Awards and Golden Globes the year it came out. I've heard that one's pretty good. The only one, the good ones, I think for the most part, his tastes are pretty solid. There's just a couple like really questionable ones, like Cabin Fever, like you know, Passion of the Christ, like those two mainly are just like
hmm.
okay,
I've
okay.
basically seen most movies on this list. Yeah, there's some kind of ones. I mean, that's just Tarantino being Tarantino. Like you got like Unstoppable here or Black Hawk Down. Dunkirk. I know people went crazy over Dunkirk. I thought Dunkirk was just okay.
Hmm.
I'm not a huge Dunkirk guy.
Hmm.
But yeah, some definitely ones I could definitely see. Like There Will Be Blood was on a lot of people's list of like best movies of the 21st century. Like that was on a lot of people's list. So was what was another big one? Like Shaun of the Dead, I could see being on. I think that was on my list of one as well. That
Right,
was
and
good.
Mad Max Fury Road, just because of like how technically astounding it is, and which is pretty agreeable.
Yeah. And then I know we're going to discuss, and then also Kill Bill is out. What's kind of your opinion on Quentin Tarantino as a filmmaker in general? There.
I really like Quentin Tarantino's movies. I think that sometimes they get a little too like self-reverent, like as they go in his later career. But I think they all have really solid starting foundations, and I think most of them are at worst very good and at best outstanding. So I think he's got a really, really good track record of films. And we'll talk about this next week, but I do love Kill Bill. It's not my absolute favorite Tarantino movie, but it is a great one in a career that has many great ones.
Yeah. What is your favorite Tarantino one?
Probably either Pulp Fiction or Inglorious Bastards.
Okay.
I just like those two a lot.
Mm. Was any movie a Tarantino movie on your list of like favorite movies of the 21st century?
It was not, no.
Okay.
He's yeah, I really like Quentin Tarantino a lot. Like I'm not like an obsessive fanboy about Tarantino, but I think he's a great director and he's got a lot of great work. So, I give him his due.
Mm, yeah. And that 10th movie's supposed to be coming out pretty soon, right? He's got that new movie, like The Critic or something like that. Uh,
Yeah, that well, he started writing it and then like ditched the script because he wasn't happy with it, and we just haven't heard any updates from it for years. So, I guess we'll see whenever he shows up with it again. But he's been saying he's going to make that 10th movie any day now for years.
yeah. Okay, so Tarantino did say something about it. So he did say, "I don't care for Dano, I don't care for Owen Wilson," and he added, "I don't care for Matthew Lillard." So he did add Matthew Lillard on top of that as well there. So yeah, it bunched them all together. Hmm. And then, I mean, what do you think about Matthew Lillard's statement saying like he wouldn't say that about Tom Cruise, or he wouldn't say that about a big A-list guy? Because I mean, would you say that a lot of these any of these guys are A-list or no? I mean,
I would not consider I would okay, maybe Owen Wilson would be A list, but I don't think Matthew Lillard or Paul Dano are particularly A list. But Lillard is right in that Tarantino would never say that about Tom Cruise or like Christian Bale or Cameron Diaz or like literally any other big high profile name, because like I get the feeling that Tarantino just likes to throw people under the bus that he knows he can, because if Tarantino said Tom Cruise sucks, that would be like a huge media scandal. But he's not going to do that because
mm,
he's kind of a coward about that.
mm, yeah. I wonder, yeah, what A-list actor that you could say like, I I mean, kind of sucks. I mean, people do that with Gal Gadot. I mean, I guess Gal Gadot would be A-list, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I mean, Gal Gadot is legit a terrible actress. So,
but he, I don't know, I guess he gives her a pass because she's a Zionist, I guess. So I guess he
mhm,
gives her a pass. But I'm
yeah.
trying to think of like off the top of my head who are some big A-list actors who I guess, aren't very good there. Yeah. I don't want to be like Quentin Tarantino now. Let me stop. I don't want to be like him.
No, yeah, I guess the only one I would, this really isn't to say he's bad. The only one I would say is I wish Ryan Reynolds would expand the type of roles he takes more, because like I kind of feel like he's been playing Deadpool for years now, and I would like to see him play a role that's not Deadpool
Mm,
adjacent.
okay. I really liked him in Buried. I like that movie, Ryan Reynolds in. Did you ever
Right.
see that movie?
I never did, but I heard he was good in it.
Yeah,
So
I
he
really
can
liked him in
clearly
that.
act. Yeah, he can clearly act in like more serious stuff. It's just, Deadpool pays the bills, and so does the Mint Mobile commercial. So I guess that's just what he wants to do now.
Yeah, isn't he a billionaire from doing Mint Mobile or something? He's like a billionaire from that, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
from Mint Mobile and his aviation gin company. So
oh yeah, everybody in that liquor and gambling and cell phones. That's how
right,
celebrities become billionaires. Yeah, they get into all those businesses, I guess.
no kidding.
Um, and I also like Ryan Reynolds in The Voices. That was kind of a decent acting performance from him, I thought as well. So yeah, I would definitely like to see him expand more and do more with that. Even in something like Adventureland, I think he takes that character that typically plays of like the cool guy, and it was like, oh, this guy's kind of a fucking loser. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like imagine that kind of personality type there, in this kind of situation. So
Yeah, if
uh,
if 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 he were to star in a movie, not exactly like this, but if he were to star in a movie like Silver Linings Playbook, where he could be a bit more like loose and comedic, but also have like more serious role moments to it, I think that'd be really interesting to see from him.
yeah. So Quentin Tarantino, asshole, I guess. I guess that. Yeah, but I mean, he did. I got to give Quentin Tarantino credit. I mean, he did bring me into my love of film, watching things like Pulp Fiction, watching things like Kill Bill, watching things like Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown there. And I mean, I was a little disappointed. I mean, getting older and like, oh, he took this from this about Kill Bill, and he took all these different things there. I mean, I knew some of it, but then it's like, damn, it's just like this hodgepodge of all these other different things, and I was like, huh. So a lot of the stuff I kind of really liked about it, it wasn't really original. It was kind of remixed in there.
Right.
Um, and I guess we're going to talk about it when we talk about Kill Bill when we do a review of it.
Yeah.
When we do a review of that. So that was Quentin Tarantino there.